Hello everyone, this is Ritik Pradeep and welcome to the finals of FIDE World Cup 2023. Magnus Carlsen takes on Praggnananda. Praggnananda is with the white pieces and Magnus is with the black pieces. Praggnananda opens up with e4. Magnus thinks for a little bit and responds with e5. Knight to f3, attacking pawn on e5. Knight c6, defends the pawn. Bishop c4, Italian game is on the board. Knight f6, d3, bishop to c5, a4, d6 by Magnus. White castles kingside. Magnus pushes the pawn to a5, stopping any ideas of b4 and c3 moves. Bishop to e3 by Praggnananda. Black captures, white recaptures with the pawn and black short castles to the king side. Knight d2, knight e7 by Magnus. Knight to h5, c6, queen to e1 with an idea of putting queen to g3 for attacking. Magnus strikes the center with the move d5. If pawn takes d5, pawn takes bishop b3, black is getting an excellent center, so he is not going for it. Instead, he moves b3. Magnus activates his queen by bringing queen to f6. As pre-planned, Praggnananda brings his queen to g3. Knight to h6 by Magnus, attacking the queen, and queen moves to g5. Here Magnus made a serious blunder, pawn to g5. Stockfish suggests it was better to play knight to f6, knight to f6, queen g3, knight h5, queen g5, knight f6, queen g3, and makes a draw by threefold repetition. Instead, we see g6. The problem of the move is after d4, takes, bishop to e6, c3, pawn takes, knight takes, queen to d7, knight c5, queen d6, takes on e6, rook to e1 with a double attack on pawn on e6, and white is under tremendous pressure. Praggnananda here didn't realize the advantage and moves his knight to f5, throwing away the entire advantage. Magnus captures a knight with the bishop, pawn recaptures. Magnus is a little bit confused and moves his king to g7. King to h8 by Praggnananda. Magnus moves his queen to f6 and asks for a queen trade. Queen takes on f6, knight takes on f6. Pawn takes on g6, white recaptures with the pawn. Praggnananda trying to activate his bishop by pushing the pawn to e4. Pawn takes on g4. Praggnananda is thinking, should he take with the knight or the pawn? He takes with the pawn. Pawn takes on g5. Magnus brings his rook to d8. Rook f2 by Praggnananda defends the knight and also tries to bring his rook to the f file. Rook to d3 by Magnus. Praggnananda doubles his rook on the f file. Knight to g8 defends the knight. c3 attacking rook on d4. Rook goes to d7. Rook to e2. Rook to f7 by Magnus. Praggnananda brings his bishop to c2, preparing for b4 ideas. Knight to d7 by Magnus, preparing knight to c4 by Praggnananda. Rook a8. g4. What a move, Praggnananda. He's playing very aggressive throughout the game. What a move. Pawn to e6. Praggnananda brings his rook to g2. Knight h6. g6 by Praggnananda captures. White recaptures with the rook. Knight to f7. Rook back to g2. Rook to e6. Rook to e2 attacking knight on e7. Rook to f6 asking for a trade of rooks. Praggnananda takes. White recaptures with the knight. b4 by Praggnananda. Pawn takes backs on b4. King to f8. Trying to bring his king to the center of the board. King to g2 by Praggnananda. King to e7. a5. Rook to h8. Rook to e2. Knight to h5 by Magnus with an idea of forking the rook and the king. He realizes it and brings his king to g1. Knight to f4 attacking the rook. Rook to d2. Rook to h3 brings his rook to the third rank. Here Praggnananda made a serious blunder, a6 move, and pawn takes on a6. He realizes that blundered and he blunders the finals of FIDE World Cup 2023. Bishop to a4. Knight comes to c3. Knight to a5. He is trying hardly to take the pawn on c6. Knight to g6 and Praggnananda asks for a rook trade. Magnus declines it and plays knight to h3. King to f1. Rook to a3 by Magnus attacking the bishop, and knight moves to c6 and gives a check. King moves to f6 and he resigns and Magnus won the match. The bishop is on attack and if you tries to save the bishop, a1 check, rook defends it, and after rook captures check, it's a beautiful checkmate with the double knights and rook on the board. What a game by Magnus. I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you really enjoyed it, don't forget to share, subscribe and like this video. Stay tuned to Chessy Way for more videos. This is Ratik Pradeep signing off.